We are going to get started with this evening's City Council meeting for June 5th, 2023. We're going to get started with an invocation from Pastor Tim Lee of the Apostolic Promise Church in Cape Girardeau. Mr. Lee.
On behalf of Apostolic Promise Church, we thank you for your service to make Cape an incredible place to live and practice our faith. So I want to pray. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity tonight to spend a few moments to recognize your greatness and your power. Lord, you've told us that we can ask for wisdom. You can give it to us and it upbraideth not. You said you can give us riches where it wouldn't add sorrow. These individuals are able to make decisions that can affect our community. Give them wisdom that can cause this city to prosper, be a safe and hospitable place to live. We thank you for what you've already done. We're asking for guidance to make it succeed in the future. We pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. As you will notice, I'm not the usual face at this part of the dais. Mayor Stacy Kinder is adding another title to her life. She is now grandmother. And so Stacy and her family are enjoying their time with their new little baby. And I believe it's Stacy's first grandchild, so it's a very big moment. All right, we've got a couple of presentations to make this evening. The first is for Alzheimer's Month. If anybody related or with that organization would like to come up and join me at the front. Please, anybody involved? Absolutely. So the last time I was using my mayor pro tem abilities, Nicolette wrote a proclamation that used a lot of turns of phrase that were very hard to pronounce. And so I apologize. All right. Whereas Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia are degenerative and irreversible brain diseases causing memory loss and cognitive ability decline. And whereas 6 million people in America and more than 120,000 Missourians suffer from Alzheimer's or other dementias, with 223,000 family caregivers in our state bearing the burden of these diseases. And whereas every 65 seconds, an individual develops Alzheimer's disease. And whereas this makes Alzheimer's and dementia the most expensive disease in America, costing the nation $355 billion this year. And whereas these diseases are thus a major public health issue, eroding the precious memories, health, and independence of our citizens, and whereas the month of June 2023 is Alzheimer's Brain Awareness Month, and the best way so far to combat the outcomes of these diseases is to educate our citizens about how to recognize early signs, how to get an early diagnosis, and available care planning and available resources. And whereas recognizing Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month provides an opportunity for the City of Cape Girardeau to so educate our citizens, join the global conversation about brain health, dementias, and Alzheimer's disease, and to underscore the serious impact these diseases have on the members of our community. And whereas organizing this event allows the City of Cape Girardeau to encourage its citizens to stay informed, to seek out support, to advocate for those who so affected, and to support research and awareness. And whereas recognizing this month also allows the City of Cape Girardeau to honor and remember the many individuals in our community whom we have lost to Alzheimer's or dementia. And whereas recognizing this month allows the city to acknowledge the important role that our public health departments, local care providers, and the greater Missouri chapter of the Alzheimer's Association plays in meeting the needs of people affected by Alzheimer's disease and dementia through family and clinical support, early detection and diagnosis, advocacy, fundraising, and research. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Dan Presson, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, do hereby declare the month of June 2023 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So I'm going to ask somebody to come up and say a few words here for a second, but there's probably nobody in this room, nobody in this community that Alzheimer's or dementia hasn't touched. So thank you all for your work and support. And would anybody like to come forward and say a few words?
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Grace Davis, and I'm the newest Board of Director member for the Alzheimer's Association Greater Missouri Chapter. I'm the only one in Southeast Missouri, but there's some wonderful people in our community who've been doing great work for many, many years, and you see a lot of them before you right now. A lot of us have been affected by Alzheimer's. I lost my grandfather to it. My husband just lost his grandfather to vascular dementia. Memory loss exacts a huge toll on our community. And so I would just like to recognize the people up here and all the people involved with the walk in this area and all of our care providers in this area.
All right, if anybody is here for the LGBTQIA plus community, please join us up here at the dais. Oh, thanks. That might be wider than our council chambers. Keep going, there we go. Excellent. Wonderful, wonderful. We good? All right. Whereas the City of Cape Girardeau cherishes the value and dignity of each person and recognizes the importance of equality, and whereas it's important that people in our community, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, feel valued, safe, empowered, and inclusion. And whereas we support the rights of every citizen to experience equality and freedom from discrimination and welcome a diverse population and vibrant community. And whereas the City of Cape Girardeau celebrates Pride Month and endeavors to provide support for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus community and encourages everyone to engage in dialogue to educate, build acceptance, celebrate love and diversity, and actively reflect upon and promote the principles of equality and unity. Now therefore resolved that I, Dan Presson, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Cape Girardeau, do hereby declare the month of June 2023 as LGBTQ plus Pride Month. Anybody like to say a few words?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Shannon Ferris, and I have the unique opportunity to see people at their very worst and their very best. And so being part of the co-responder unit with the Police Department of Cape Girardeau and the Community Counseling Center, I get to visit on call very quickly, sometimes first responding to save people's lives. And some of those lives, as you may imagine, are our citizens here at Cape Girardeau, and some of them are the LGBTQI. In particular, here recently has been our trans citizens. And in about a 4-week period, I had directly intervened and saved 3 trans lives. It bothered me because, one, I don't want anyone to die, any one of you. I would come calling and I would be there for you. But 3 in 4-week period. And so I asked, what could help? What could stop this from happening? And some of them said, the policies right now that are coming through in August literally say that I have no right to exist. The others said, we have no safe or secure place to meet. Now that's something I can do. I can do something there. And so over the next few weeks, my unit and we worked on securing a safe place. And what we learned in the very first one is that Cape Girardeau have been wanting to do that for 40 years. So that is something new that we have to offer. And something else that we have to offer is PFLAG, one of the longest standing organizations that have been overlooked for the longest time. I'm honored to stand up here with you. And lastly is my husband and I, when we were in Key West, We created, part of the people that created the Love is Love grassroots campaign that fought for marriage equality, and we won in 18 months. Then we joined the national movement, and when we did, we had carried this section of this flag, which was 2 miles long. And so when we were on the steps of the Supreme Court, when they made their decision, everyone had to touch this flag. Politicians, citizens, and people from all over the world had to touch this flag, get their pictures with it, run underneath it. Those in wheelchairs had to go underneath it. It was awesome. In 24 hours, we had our first call. And from Australia, the Prime Minister wanted this section of the flag when they were fighting for equality. And that led to all parts of the world wanting this flag to represent all of us, not just LGBTQI, but all of us, one human family. Then it morphed into, unfortunately, with some mass shootings that we've had, and they have continued. So it started with Pulse. That was the flag that you saw, this flag here, hanging from the building. And also Colorado and all these other places, this is the flag that you see. And so at a time when people are dying, people are loving and continuing their support like PFLAG has, we thought it was a good time to bring a piece, a symbol that stands for all of us. So it was unexpected to get a proclamation. That was very unexpected, but it does give our community at least a sign that we're moving in the right direction. So thank you all.
When you're ready.
We're looking at Gail? Okay.
I'm jealous.
All right, everybody look at Gail in the middle, and then we can go over here to the right.
1, 2, and thank you.
Excellent, thank you guys. And here's another copy of the proclamation. I'm gonna run up and get my. All right, the next item on the agenda is actually one of the more fun things that we get to do here in the City of Cape, especially whenever it comes to the graduation for our Citizens Academy. Citizens Academy is an incredible way for citizens of the City of Cape Girardeau to get to know the inner workings of municipal government, get to see all of the different facets of what the government here in Cape Girardeau does on a daily basis, and to kind of build an appreciation for the water we drink, the streets we drive on, all of the different things. Hey guys, no problem. And so it's really a fantastic opportunity for citizens in the City of Cape Girardeau just to get to know the city a lot better, just see what we do. A lot of people don't think about how much it takes to maintain the sewer system until you go and look at it. You don't think about what it takes to have fresh water until you go and look at it. And so the Citizens Academy graduation is always a really fun time. I asked if we could queue up some fake graduation music, but that's not an option. But as I call your name, if you would not mind coming up here to the dais, and then we're all going to stand up here as a group and take pictures. So this is Citizens Academy Spring 2023 graduation, Peggy Garner. All right, Peggy did not make it. All right, Nancy Kopp. Come on up, Nancy. I know there's a little something missing without the graduation music, right? There's a little something. Are we doing pictures in today?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Oh, turn around there. Thank you.
All right. Mitchell Johnson. Come on up.
Let's make sure it went upside down.
Actually, why don't we all stand up here so we can get a
Yes,
group picture at the end?
picture at the end.
Perfect. Jason Latham. Huh? Amanda McKinney. She should be here because she works in the building. Come on up, Amanda. All right. Kalisha McClendon. All right, Kalisha, no. Andrew Ostrowski.
Okay, step that way just a little bit.
Step this way so Gail can get a good shot.
Amanda's photobombing.
All right. Hillary Peterson. Bennett Turner. He should also be here because he's in the back. All right. Nancy Uzaro. Yeah, everybody knows Joe. Gary Warfield. All right. Last but not least, Lisa Green.
Scoot down that way.
Everybody scoot down. One last round of applause for all of our Citizens Academy graduates, those that can be with us and not with us. Everybody hold up your...
Get Lisa at the end here. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. There we go.
Nice. Thank you guys so much. What was that? Oh, sure. Thank you, everybody, for coming for that graduation. Those that couldn't come with us or come tonight, we'll make sure that they get their certificates. It's a wonderful operation. So if any of you guys that have just recently completed it, or even if you're hearing about it for the first time, this is a fantastic way to get to know city government and just know what the city of Cape Girardeau is doing for you on a daily basis. A lot of people sometimes just overlook all the different things that are happening in this community, but Citizens Academy is a way to really insert yourself in there, learn about it hands-on, and hear from the people that are doing these things in the community. So apply, encourage your friends to apply, encourage your neighbors to apply, because it's a wonderful organization. All right, back to the regular agenda. All right, council, does anyone have any communications and reports? No? Okay. Summertime, this is always a fun time. Anytime you're in downtown Cape and you're seeing all the people walking on the streets, it's just indicative of how important this community is and having a wonderful, safe community that we have. So just encourage your friends and your family to come and visit us this summer in Cape. Go to Cape Splash Water Park and enjoy everything that we have to offer. All right, moving on. Okay, if there is anybody in the audience that is here is an advisory board applicant, we welcome you to come to the podium and introduce yourself and tell us what board you're interested in. So if anyone is here to be an advisory board applicant, come on up.
Good evening, everyone. I think most everyone knows who I am, but I'm Michelle Latham, and I'm a business owner here in Cape Girardeau with American Family Insurance. I have applied for the library board, and I would like to be considered as an applicant. I am active in the Cape Girardeau community and will continue to grow my activity within the community. I welcome any questions if you'd like to reach out to me personally and talk with me, but I would like to be considered for the board. And I did complete the Citizens Academy last fall, so I think I'm one of 2 graduates that have applied.
Well, I
for
was
it,
going to
so-
ask you, is Jason Latham of any
That's
relation?
my husband.
Hey, nice.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
We might send you with his certificate.
That'll be fine. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else that's an advisory board applicant to come appear before council? All right. With nobody jumping to their feet, we're going to close that session and go into the consent agenda review. Dr. Haskin.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Council, we added 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and of course 16 to the consent for your review tonight. We'll start with number 10. We have an L&I agreement to place certain improvements on city right-of-way along Vintage Drive, north of Scenic View Drive. Number 11, we have a performance guarantee agreement with Meyer Properties for public sidewalk and street light improvements in the Baldwin Creek subdivision. Number 12, a request to execute a performance agreement with Meyer Properties for, again, sidewalk improvements in the Touchdown Ridge subdivision. And number 13, a request to execute a grant agreement with the Missouri Department of Economic Development for local tourism grant to assist in funding Shawnee Park's Sportsplex ball fields enhancements, one that we're really, really excited about. And number 14, again, another performance agreement with Meyer Properties for public sidewalk improvements in the Rock Garden subdivision. Number 15, we're ready to accept improvements and, of course, authorize final payment to DNS Sign Company, DBA Sign, and Graphics for the Shawnee Park digital sign project. And of course, finally, number 16, a final payment to Loppy Cement for the concrete street repair in the 2022 project. Mayor Pro Tem, that concludes the consent review.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Haskin. I just was made aware that one of our Citizens Academy graduates just arrived. And so before we hop into the full agenda, I'd like to invite Dr. Kalisha McClendon to come on down to the front. Right. So that concludes our open session. We're going to jump into regular session. Mr. Taylor, can we get a roll call?
Sure. Mark Bliss. Here. Robbie Guard. Here. Stacy Kinder is absent. Dan Presson.
Here.
Tameka Randle.
Here.
Nate Thomas.
Here.
Shannon Truxel.
Here.
All right. So we've got our council here. Do I have a motion for the adoption of the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Robbie and Tameka? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, excellent. So we're going to do public hearings. We have multiple public hearings on our agenda this evening. All right, make sure that I do this right, Bruce. Okay, a public hearing to consider the proposed annual operating budget for the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023. Item number 11, bill number 2380. Is there anyone here to speak on that item?
Good evening. So we have a public hearing here regarding the proposed operating budget for the oncoming fiscal year. It's the city charter that requires the public hearing regarding the proposed city budget. And it'll give everyone an opportunity, citizens, et cetera, to speak if they wish, or ask any questions or have any comments regarding the budget. The staff recommendation is to council that we conduct the public hearing and receive the input.
Thank you very much. All right, is anyone in the audience here to speak on this item on the agenda? All right, seeing none, We're going to close that public hearing and we're going to move on to the next. You don't take votes on that. No. All right, a public hearing to consider vacating the city's interest in a portion of a 16-foot wide alley right-of-way on block 5 of West End Place II. Agenda item number 19, bill number 23-82. Anyone here to speak on that?
I'd like to know more about that. Can I come in like this week sometime and talk to someone about personally about this?
Absolutely.
Because I'm not so sure what that is. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We
I'd like to
can,
educate myself on that.
yeah, we can set an appointment for you to come in and talk to somebody. Excellent. All right, is anybody here for that public hearing considering vacating the city's interest in a portion of a 16-foot wide alley right-of-way on block 5 of West End Place II? All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that public hearing. Third public hearing up for us this evening is a public hearing to consider vacating the city's interest in a portion of a 10-foot easement of a re-subdivision of Lot 2 of a minor subdivision of Lot B of Cape West Crossings Phase 2 amended. Item number 20, bill numbers 2383. Is anyone here to speak on this public hearing? All right, seeing none, we will move on to the fourth and final public hearing of the evening. A public hearing to consider a request for a special use permit for the purposes of constructing, maintaining, and operating a boutique hotel at 603 North Henderson Avenue. Item number 22, bill number 2385. Is anyone here for that?
Hello, I'm Ben Truxel. This is my wife, Madon,
Good
and
evening.
I just prepared a little statement here, so I'll just go ahead and read that. My wife, Madon, and I are the ones with the contract to purchase the Himmelberger House from the university. We're really excited to be able to bring back this historic property and make it available to the public to be able to use and stay there. When the property was originally proposed to be raised, I wrote a letter to the university asking what the possibilities were for it to be sold instead. Evidently, I was not the only one. It would be such a disappointment to lose this historic treasure, and we thought a great way for it to be preserved would be for it to become something new, something unique to Cape Girardeau. I wrote out a proposal with our ideas and presented it to CMO, and to our excitement, it was accepted. I included one contingency, that we get the property zoned for our proposed use. Well, we've come a long way. The zoning has been approved. Thank you. With the final step being the granting of the special use permit. We have worked with the city staff for several months now, and they've been great to work with. We've had the acceptance of the idea from the local Boulevard Historic District and the neighbor next door. We also plan to involve them in our renovation plans to be sure everyone is aware and approving of the final product. Our plans are to use the property as a boutique hotel. The special use permit we're applying for will allow us to have a 7-room inn. There will be a handicap accessible room on the main floor, 5 rooms on the upper level, and 1 large suite on the attic floor. One of the rooms on the second level will be a 2-room suite. There will be individual bathrooms for all guest rooms. It is our plan to have an elegant and tasteful inn for the public to be able to stay and enjoy, one that fits the era and the architectural style the house was constructed. It will be a small, locally owned and operated independent boutique hotel with elements paying homage to Cape Girardeau. We're more than excited to bring this historic mansion back to its original stately condition and provide an opportunity for the public to be able to see and experience what was once called the most majestic home in Southeast Missouri. Should the special use permit be granted, we will close on the purchase of the property on June 27th. Our finances are in order, and we will begin on the restoration and renovation immediately once our permit is approved. We greatly appreciate your support for our venture.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Thank you guys very
Thank
much. All right, is anyone else here to speak on the public hearing to consider a request for a special use permit for the purposes of constructing, maintaining, and operating a boutique hotel at 603 North Henderson Avenue? All right, seeing none, we're going to close that public hearing. Moving on to the consent agenda. Mr. Young, would you mind reading that for us?
Bill 2371, an ordinance vacating the city's interest in a utility easement located at 2409 Bristol Hill Road in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2371, ordinance vacating the city's interest in utility easement located 2409 Bristol Hill Road in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2372, ordinance vacating the city's interest in utility easement located 5808 Dalhousie Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2372, ordinance vacating the city's interest utility easement located 5808 Dalhousie Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2373, ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a transportation planning consolidated grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for Southeast Metropolitan Planning Organization expenses in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2373, ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a transportation planning consolidated grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for Southeast Metropolitan Planning Organization expenses in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2374, an ordinance appropriating expenditures for the casino fund for payments to Southeast Missouri State University for construction of a dual-role multi-use comprehensive development in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2374, an ordinance appropriating expenditures from the casino fund for payments to Southeast Missouri State University for construction of a dual-role multi-use comprehensive development in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2375, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a license indemnity agreement to place certain improvements on city right-of-way of Vantage Drive, north of Scenic Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2376, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a performance guarantee agreement with Meyer Properties LP for public sidewalk and street light improvements in Ballin Creek subdivision in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2377, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a performance guarantee agreement with Meyer Properties LP for public sidewalk improvements in Rock Garden subdivision in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2378, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a performance guarantee agreement with Meyer Properties LP for public sidewalk improvements in Touchdown Ridge subdivision in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 2379, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a grant agreement with the Missouri Department of Economic Development for Shawnee Park Sports Complex visitor improvements.
All right, council, you have before you the consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
Second.
All right. Prior to this vote, Mr. Taylor, will you please mark my vote in abstention of bill number 2374? All right. All those in favor of the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you very much. New ordinances this evening. We've got a slate of them. So city staff, I hope you guys are ready for a nice little marathon of some of these new ordinances. I asked Gail, I said, what, there's a lot of new ordinances on here. And she was like, well, it's been technically 3 weeks since our last meeting. So this works out well. All right, bill number 23-80, an ordinance adopting the annual operating budget for the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023. First reading, Miss Lisa Mills.
So the ordinance, excuse me, this ordinance adopts the operating budget for fiscal year July 1, 2023. Again, the city charter requires. Background discussion of this is that all of the proposed items in the budget have been previously conveyed. A few of the highlights would include that the budget proposes changes to the city's fees per the fee schedule that's included in it. It also implements a 3% pay increase for all city employees. We've continued our support of public safety. The budget worked to mitigate the influences of the inflation that we had during the past fiscal year and projects on some inflationary pressures through the next fiscal year. We continue to work for other pay plan enhancements so we could continue our efforts to hire and be competitive in the marketplace with all of our city employees. There's multiple capital projects as outlined in the budget. There's street improvement and repairs, additional fleets, and that's some of the main highlights. I would also note that the property tax levy will be adopted in August after the public hearing has been held. Staff does recommend the approval of the ordinance to adopt the annual operating budget, and any desired changes to the budget should be specifically agreed no later than the June 19th City Council meeting.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Is there anyone in the public who is here to speak on this item on the agenda? All right. Seeing none. Council, can I get a motion? Get a motion? All right. Robbie and Mark. Okey-doke. Any comment from council? Excellent. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. Motion passes. Bill number 2381, an ordinance establishing utility rates for the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri by amending chapter 29 relating to sewer and water rates. First reading. Lisa.
So this ordinance establishes the utility rates for the city of Cape Girardeau. The ordinance would approve water and sewer fee increases assumed in the proposed budget. It's a 5% increase. The proposed, it's a 5% increase to the residential and commercial water rates effective for the bills after July 1, 2023. The disconnect and reconnect fees charged by the city will also increase to $19.75 from $18.80. This year's rate increases will allow the city to meet its covenants for bonds previously issued by the sewer and water funds and support the operating needs of the sewer and water funds as well. Any questions?
I have one comment to sort of double down again on the inflation conversation that Ms. Lisa brought up earlier. We are very, very, very concerned about the inflation that we're facing right now. The budget reflects that. That's why these increases are critically important for us to be able to recover our cost. We also know that the headwinds we're facing in the future regarding a potential recession is also on our minds. It's something that we consider and talk about and plan for each and every day. And of course, interest rates. I think we all are facing those as we sit here today, and it's something that we have to, in our budget for, and be in position to respond in the event that these rates continue to basically explode. So again, I just wanted to bring that up, make sure that we certainly make the public aware that these things are facing us on a daily basis, and we need to adjust our budgets accordingly. Thank you.
Very true. Excellent. Is anybody from the public be here to speak on item number 2381? All right, seeing none. Council, can I get a motion?
Second.
Excellent. Robbie and Shannon. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right. Bill number 2382, an ordinance vacating the city's interest in a portion of an alley right-of-way between South Park Avenue and Southwest End Boulevard and retaining a permanent utility easement thereon in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. First reading. Mr. Pulley.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, Dr. Haskin. This ordinance vacating the city's interest in a portion of a 16-foot alley right-of-way in Block 5 of West End Place 2. This is alley behind roads at West End Boulevard.
Excellent. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Anyone here to speak on this ordinance? All right, seeing none. Council, can I get a motion? Excellent, Mr. Guard, Mr. Bliss. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you very much. Next item on our list, bill number 2383, an ordinance vacating the city's interest in a portion of an easement located at 433 and 461 Cape West Crossing in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Mr. Pulley.
Thank you, sir. This is an ordinance vacating the city's interest in the portion of a 10-foot easement of the re-subdivision of Lot 2 in a minor subdivision. We're vacating this for the new Fairfield Inn sign, and the city no longer needs this easement.
All right. Is anyone from the public here to speak on behalf of this ordinance number 2383? Don't everybody jump up at once. All right. Seeing none, council, can I get a motion? Excellent. And Shannon, fantastic. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you very much. Bill number 2384, an ordinance accepting permanent utility easements from Vernon E. Rhodes Family Partners LLC for property located at 2110 Southern Expressway in the city of Cape Girardeau. First reading. Trevor.
Thank you, sir. This is an ordinance accepting 8 separate easements from the Vernon E. Rhodes Family Partners for the property located at 211 Southern Expressway. The city needs to retain these easements.
Anyone in the audience here to speak on bill number 2384? All right, seeing nobody jumping to their feet, council, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Excellent. Tameka
Second.
and Nate. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, seeing none.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pooley. Bill number 2385, an ordinance granting a special use permit to 10 Mile Management LLC for the purpose of constructing, maintaining, and operating a boutique hotel at 603 North Henderson Avenue in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. First reading, Mr. Shrimplin.
Good evening. I'll close it out here with the rest of the ordinances. As Mr. Truxel noted, this has been a thorough process of vetting this boutique hotel concept by the neighborhood, the Historic Preservation Commission, and the Planning and Zoning Commission. We then proceeded to amend the zoning regulations for that district, which is R4, to allow that with approval of a special use permit. And once that was passed, he applied for the permit, and that has gone to the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Historic Preservation Commission. They both recommend approval with the conditions that are in the agenda report.
Is there anyone in the audience here to speak on bill number 2385? So we've already heard from Mr. and Ms. Draxel. All right. Before we take a vote on this, Mr. Taylor, will you please mark my vote in abstention of financial conflict of interest? Okay.
And please mark my vote and abstention due to financial conflict of interest as well.
All right. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Tameka and neither Nate or Mark. Excellent. Any discussion on council?
I just wanted to make note of the investment going on in Ward 3. This is in the new boundaries. This is exciting times for that. The development of the West End Alley and that ordinance, the middle school pool, the newly patched plaza parking lot. Please go enjoy that. I've heard from many of you about that. But lots of exciting things going on in Ward 3. So thank you guys, everybody that's investing in that area. So
This one's also really close to Ward 1. So.
And close to Ward 2.
I was gonna say, directly across the street from
I drive by it.
Not that there's any competition. All right.
And we're not related.
Oh, good, yeah. Truxel.
Yeah.
All right, council, can I get a vote? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. Thank you guys very much. Bill number 23-86, an ordinance approving the record plat of Hunter's Place Third Subdivision, first reading. Mr. Trimple.
This is just simply a lot split for a single family lot. The owner is going to build a house on one and either hold or sell the other lot.
Excellent. Is there anyone from the audience that is here to speak on behalf of this ordinance, bill number 2386? All right, seeing none, council, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Bliss,
Second.
Mr. Guard, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, bill number 2387, an ordinance approving the record plat of Deer Creek Road subdivision, first reading. Mr. Shrimplin.
This is another single family lot that's being split into two.
Excellent. Is there any member of the public that would like to speak on behalf of Bill number 2387? All right, seeing none, council, can I get a motion? Nice one, Mr.
Second.
Guard. Mr. Truxel. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And thank you. Okay, bill number 2388, an ordinance approving the record plat of Veterans Point subdivision, first reading. Mr. Shrimplin.
This is a lot split for a commercial property. This is at Center Junction. I believe the split is to create a lot for the True Hotel that Mid-America Hotels is looking to build.
Excellent. Fantastic. Is there any member of the public that's here to speak on behalf of bill number 2388? Seeing nobody jumping to their feet or raising their hands, council, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Nate and Tameka. All right, any council discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. Bill number 23-89, an ordinance approving the record plat of Baldwin Creek subdivision, first reading. Mr. Shrimplin.
Okay, we finally have a subdivision involves more than 2 lots. This is actually an 18-lot subdivision intended for duplexes at the northeast corner of Baldwin Drive, County Road 618. So there'll be new right-of-way dedicated as part of that.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, is there any member of the public that's here to speak on behalf of bill number 2389? All right. Council, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Nate? All right, any council conversation? Excellent. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Let's see, that concludes our new ordinance for the evening. Thank you, Mr. Shrimplin and Mr. Pulley and Ms. Mills for discussing this on behalf of the city. We have one appointment this evening for an appointment to the Historic Preservation Commission. All right, and it looks like that is to Andrew Modrow. Can I get a motion to appoint him to the Historic Preservation Commission? All right,
Second.
Randle. All right, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Mr. Monroe, you are on the Historic Preservation Commission. Excellent. Do we have a list of people that signed up for? And we're going to take a 5-second pause. Now, this is when we need to see the people. Oh, yeah, I thought it was the graduation ceremony, but now. Yeah. Music. All right, we have 2 appearances for items not on the agenda this evening. Our first is Leslie Washington.
Um, My name is Leslie Washington, and I live at 315 North Frederick Street, apartment 202 here in Cape Girardeau. And I just want to bring before you, as a concerned citizen of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and a volunteer with Moms Demand Action, I feel like the gun violence has definitely exacerbated since I've been here for 11 years. As a Black woman, I am feeling a little unsafe walking around at times. Even as a student on CMO's campus, I feel a little scared at times as well. I wish that this was not a normal occurrence, but unfortunately it is. We all need to do our part and work together to end this pandemic. And also, I would just like to add, we just completed Wear Orange over the weekend, and that is to bring awareness to the gun violence that we have across the country and in our communities of Cape Girardeau. And in the wake of that, there was a shooting in Columbia, Missouri, where 4 teens were injured. They were at a party, and 2 of those teens lost their lives. So just like I said, this has exacerbated, and we just have to work together to do what we need to do to end this, because we can't keep letting this happen. Too many children are being lost to gun violence, and that's all.
Thank you very much. All right, next on the list, Ramona Bailey.
All right, good evening, Council. Ramona Bailey, I'm Administrative Assistant at St. James Amy Church in Cape Girardeau. Yes, what Leslie said, we don't want to have to wait until the bullet hits us. Bullets don't have names. You don't wait for one to hit you to do something about it. But that's not what I'm up here for. I'm up here to just invite community members and yourselves to St. James. We are going to have a reading of the Southside Farms proposal. And no offense to some of you on the council today, because you are new, but some of you have been here for a while, and some of the reputation just precedes the history of how sometimes things get changed in the process of, when people think one thing is going to happen, but something else happens. And it's always probably in the fine print. And people don't always get a chance to read all that. I mean, even with all the things that you give out, just have a little bit. If you don't do that research to find what the fine print says, you just kind of lost in it. So I'm just giving this opportunity for people to come out. We're just going to be reading the proposal page by page, line by line, and just to see exactly how this may play out for people in our community, not just for the South Side. I feel like we are one city of Cape Girardeau, and if it affects one part of town, it's going to affect all of it. I'm not saying that it's bad. I hope people feel like, oh, she felt like something bad. I don't feel like the idea of it is bad. I feel like it is a good idea. It's just some things maybe that need more clarity. And so if you don't know about Southside Farms, or if you do know, you are still welcome to come and just kind of do this reading together. I believe Ryan is going to come and just kind of help us with understanding a proposal and just how things work like that. So I have a flyer. If you want one, I'll give it to you. And it is this Thursday at 6:30. Doors will open, and we'll probably start promptly at 7 o'clock. Just reading the proposal. Jimmy will be there, I believe, and others from his board to help answer questions that people will have. And that's all on that. And my second note is there are, Juneteenth is coming up. And I saw on one of the things that you said there may be a meeting on June 19th. I'm not sure if that's a yes or no. That's a federal holiday. So just look into that. But there are 2, what? Okay, they moved it to 20. Okay, so the paper was wrong. But anyway, so there's 2 Juneteenth celebrations going on in Cape Girardeau. One will be here at the Common Pleas, I think at 1 o'clock. And the other one, calling it Southside Juneteenth. People did not feel like they were represented well in the one that's going on. I don't know, that don't have anything to do with you all, but I'm just here to say the community. I mean, for us to have two separate, I thought that was why we had the one all here together to negate having so many different celebrations, because it's really should be just one celebration. But the people feel underrepresented at the one that's going to be held here. For one, I, as being a member of the oldest Black church in the community, was not even invited to have a table at the event. So that's a concern that maybe somehow, I don't know how we can address it, but it does need to be, I feel, one Juneteenth celebration. And it's can be included. People want to come out and celebrate how we overcame. I'm all for that, but to exclude the Black community from Juneteenth is absurd to me. I know my 3 minutes is up, so, but y'all have a good night. I hope I see you guys Thursday.
All right, that concludes our agenda for this evening. That is a good note to end on, is that our next meeting is not on Monday, June 19th. It is on Tuesday, June 20th. So update your calendars and mark that on your calendar. All right. Excellent. Motion's on the table.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. And motion approved.